I was just having my little moment before
So,
joining.
so was I. I was here about a
Good.
good 3 minutes, like, just breathe, it's good, fine. Um,
Exactly. Helpful self-talk. What did you say to yourself? Do you mind letting us in on that?
I was just like, it's going to be fine, whatever it is, right? This is part of getting used to being on camera, the whole live thing that we talked about yesterday, which we'll talk about a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
um, today. But just getting used to the idea that it's okay to be in front of people.
Yeah. Yeah. What we talked about was how like the story we tell about something like what we need to present as is like
Right.
really the opposite of what
Mm-hmm.
people need,
Very,
which
very
is
true.
right. It's, I mean, we said it a different way, but essentially that's what it comes down to, I think. So that's basically what I said to myself. Deep breath. And I was like running through the notes of
Mm-hmm.
what he said. And then I was like, oh, but really the thing is just have a conversation.
That's right. We're just talking.
Just be in the moment. Like I like to say, it is Monday, April 25th. This is all we have, right? At
Right.
noon oh 02. It is what it is of today.
Very, very true.
So, anyway, that's my intention. And here we go. Welcome, friends who are here.
Yes.
Sasha, Brittany, and Rachel. Hi.
Hi.
Put in things in the chat. Talk to us. Keep it real. Keep it live. It's fun. Um, so Leah,
Yes.
tell me, what do you do? Tell everyone else.
All
What do
right.
you do? And how did you come to start your business? There's Karen Beckles.
So I
Woo woo.
am Leah Mitchell, and I am a master certified life coach as well as an operational development strategist. And so both of those things came from two different directions. This is not, there wasn't a turning point. So um, for me, I'm that friend that a lot of people have come to for advice. We have those types of conversations where we're planning out things in people's lives. Always been a safe space for people to talk to about the hard things and, obviously the happy things as well, the
Yeah.
easy things in life. And in my 20s, when I became a single mom, there was a lot of work that I was doing with myself. I spent a lot of time with myself doing introspective work and trying to just understand myself better. And I wanted to be a therapist at that time. And that didn't pan out for various reasons. But it never changed. My role in people's lives um, has always been that we can talk about the things and we can figure things out together. I'm very solution oriented, and um, so
I'm
the
smiling
work.
because I received that, by the way. Sorry.
No
I
worries.
was feeling into like it was great to have that with you. Go ahead.
So the work that I do, I have a full-time job as well, and the work that I do has always been administrative work, and I've done various administrative tasks, various sorry, one second, various roles that I've played in administrative. So administrative assistant that does a wide variety of work. And so writing processes, doing project management. And so that's where the operational development came into play, is that I learned all of these different skills for the last 19 years. I've done work in administrative work. Um, so I was like, how can I do this more of a consulting basis? Because eventually I'd like to get out of having a full-time job, or maybe not. Maybe I consult with the work, the place I work for, a hospital. So maybe I consult with them. But I was trying to create a plan, and that's where I went and I took a course on operational development coaching, just so I could make sure that I had a good understanding of what that looks like from a coaching perspective. And then I crafted out this chief of staff role in which I can come in and help with. I've written this down because I never say it all in, in one fell
Yeah,
swoop.
it's good. Uh-huh.
People management, planning, projects, processes, and performance. So all of those different ways that we can evaluate how we're doing, how our people are doing, how our people feel, and then making sure that we have good processes that get us from point A to point B smoothly. And so those are the two different facets. And sometimes it comes together, like I was saying earlier, in my work that I do now, I end up doing a lot of coaching because I don't think that you can be in business or be in a leadership role and not have personal development be a huge part of that.
Mm-hmm.
So they end up going together anyway. And
Yes.
so since I have these two different certifications, it makes the work that I do with the hospital much easier, but also it allows for me to work with people in a way that's more holistic.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I can hear is it seems like you're not just saying like, hey, you need to do this XYZ, because what you need is to enroll people to
Right.
say, oh, yeah, I want to do this. Right? Like it's
Yes.
right. It's so much easier. It's a great way to lead, I think.
Yeah, I feel like you have a hard time doing the steps if you don't understand what's preventing you from getting there. So you can give someone a task list of things to do, but when it comes to their own business or something that's very important to them, there are things that hold us back, and if we're not aware of ourselves, then it's hard for us to move forward in those spaces. Like we will procrastinate. We start having these other things that we do that are coping mechanisms that keep us from feeling whatever it is, be it shame, or if you're a perfectionist and you're having a hard time showing up fully because it's not going to be right, or
Yeah.
you have imposter syndrome and you're afraid to do the thing because do I really belong here? So we
Hmm.
have to do the
Hmm.
inner work while we're also doing the outer work. And it doesn't matter where that is. It could be, you could decide that you don't, maybe you're not an entrepreneur. Maybe you are an employee and you're perfectly fine with that, but you want to be able to
Yeah.
advance, or you want to be able to really dig in and be comfortable in your work.
Right.
And so all of these things come together.
Yes. Yeah, that's beautiful. And really, like I just came off a session with client, and people often come to me. So I work with entrepreneurs in needing a pivot, usually some kind of
Mm-hmm.
realignment. And always it's like I think maybe I should quit and go back to working for someone else. I'm like, guess what? You're still you, right? You're still gonna
Right.
bring those things.
Everywhere you
And
go, there you are,
they
right?
where you go, there you are. Yeah, and I feel it. This is not a pointing out, right? This is me too, right? It
Right.
turns out like I could also look at the classifieds, right? Look at what else I could be doing. And I always just come back to it's all going to come back to my own self leadership.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
someone else telling me to do too much, or to like poke my perfectionism to extract from myself, like, well, I can do that myself, actually, to my own self.
Right.
So, so yeah, why would I do it for you? I can at least clean it up for my own self, right?
Right.
So that's the work that you helped me do.
Oh,
Again, like
good.
everything you're describing. I mean, really, like I, I tried to say in my post about you, like almost like as soon as we worked together on that vision workshop, I was like, oh, Leah has gifts that are not
Thank you.
natural for me. And so even just this conversation, it's like, I didn't dig into your bio. I was like, I can feel it. Can you help me, please? And then you helped me, and like I said in my post, like, oh, really? So it's really just as simple as getting 8 hours of sleep.
Right. I mean,
And it,
like on that note, for everybody who's listening, I think that sleep, if you're having a hard time making decisions or making change in your life and you're not getting enough sleep, I would start there. That is like the number one thing that you can do to start making good decisions, because we are far more impulsive and far more indecisive when our brain just hasn't had time to
yeah.
refresh. So,
And part of impulsive is we are not our highest selves. Like I
yes.
will think the imposter syndrome thing faster, right? Because I'm tired, because I'm like, oh, I don't, because you worked with me too, because I ate a bag of chips last night instead of going to sleep, because I
Right.
was whatever subconsciously trying to comfort myself.
Mm-hmm.
Poor me working at midnight. Poor me. I'm really tired, but I gotta push through. Like those are just effed up stories, right? And then you wake
Yes.
up feeling like, oh, not not ready for another good day. So then it kind of
Just
cycles.
keeps on going.
Anyway,
So,
it keeps on going. And this is the strategy in your title,
yes.
right? Like it's
Mm-hmm.
it's not just the do, it's the thing under the thing, which is what
Yes.
I like to do with my coaching clients too. Like, I'm going to talk about the task because that's what you're coming to me for. That's what you think is the problem. And I'm going to go, great. Let's talk about that problem. And I'm going to go, but why'd you just say that? But why? What's that thing? And
Absolutely.
trying to excavate. So you helped me do that in ways that I couldn't have seen for myself.
I'm glad. Thank you.
So, so, and just hearing you describe it from the like your really your story, your evolution really is just it, it makes me happy just to ground into like that is totally what I experienced and just grounds me into like what a gift you are.
Thank you.
What a gift you are
I
to like
appreciate
so
that.
many people
Received.
need you.
Thank you.
I'm so glad. So, tell me then, how would you describe your greatest joy in your business, in your work?
My
Could be all the
greatest
work.
joy is when
Yeah.
it clicks, when you can tell that it clicks. Like um I have this idea that we first, when we're making change, right, it's first that it's intellectual. We know it. We know we need to make the change. Most of us are very aware of our own shortcomings or the things that we would like to make change because we could see that it would make a big difference in our lives, right? So we first are going to have it on the intellectual level. But in order for us to embody it, it has to go through certain levels in order for us to get all the way there where this is now a habit. And it's not an easy process, right? But when I can see the shift from intellectual to you're now starting to have that energetic embodiment of that particular change that you're trying to make. That for me is the greatest joy because I'm like, you're on your way now. Now, even if you fall out of the habit, you know what it feels like to be in the groove of that. So I had a client that I was working with on timelining things because her sense of time was all over the place, like trying to squeeze
Hmm.
everything into one day. We can do it all right now, and was constantly booking herself for too many things at one time, not thinking about things like how long it takes to get from one place to the other. It's like I can just have
Mm-hmm.
everything back to back. And so,
Mm-hmm.
there was chronic lateness, there's all of this other things that snowball, and then life is not enjoyable. People
Mm-hmm.
don't necessarily see you as reliable when you're constantly late or double booked and saying, hey, I've got to cancel, da, 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 da.
Yeah.
So when it started to make sense, when she started timelining herself and being able to see, oh, okay, it's going to take me 15 minutes to get there. It takes me 15 minutes to get from there to the next place or to get back home, and really allotting for, I need 2 hours to do this thing, and booking that on a calendar in a realistic way. Then I'm like, you got it. Now you're starting to see it and feel it in a way that makes sense, and your life is less chaotic. And so even without me, in the absence of me, that now is a skill set that she can use
Right.
um, to just make life less chaotic, to feel good about the ease of the day, because nobody likes that feeling of running around and so
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, I
so
can
that for
picture
me is
that.
the biggest joy, when you've got it, you understand it, it makes sense now what you were doing. And although we could say like she was very aware of herself
Yeah.
and this particular shortcoming, but couldn't see it until we talked about it. And that's where I think a lot of the times when it comes to life coaching, people have asked like, what would I need a life coach for? It's for the things
Yeah.
that you can't necessarily see. Sometimes having that third party that comes in and just helps highlight for you the things that you need to see, the little pieces of it um, that would make it all go together more seamlessly. And that's what I love to do just in life in general.
Yeah. I can picture well, maybe I can picture and not picture when you're listening to the me's of the world, because at first when you started to describe this person, I was like, wait, is she talking about me? Because
No.
because right, like that's who you help are the people that are like, I don't know why this isn't working. And I can picture you like, oh, I know why it's not working. Right? It's like, isn't that like I just again, you're the gift, right? You're a
Thank you.
gift because you see things in that moment. And then the person comes back. Karen says me too. Um, the person comes back and says, Leah, it was so different this week or this day, right? And
Right.
that really sinks into like, oh, it's possible. it felt good. And I'm sure I just picture like the difference of arriving early to a thing and having like a minute just to like take a breath, right? Just
Take a
like we
breath.
just talked about right before coming to this, right? Instead of arriving
Absolutely.
like all like discombobbled and all of that. I had to I had to do what I'm calling mind management too, just coming here where I was like, oh, in the past I've kept all like a lot of space before coming to this Monday conversation. And then I just right I was with the client a little bit longer than I had meant to. Karen says, Vision Queen, Queen of Strategy
Thanks,
and Creative
Karen.
Solutions. So true. We are all queens in our own place. You're the Vision
Right.
Queen for sure. Um, anyway, I just realized like I had to not succumb to the story of, oh, I didn't do my whole prep time. That it's going to be, I'm going to come
Hmm.
in all with the energy. I was like, oh, right. No, doesn't have to be like that. Doesn't have to be like the past doesn't have to be the future or today,
Yes.
any of that. So you help us clean up things like that. I think it took me
Thank
some time
you.
not to not to tell those stories. So I had asked you to bring a business challenge today that you'd be willing to talk about here, and I could
Yes.
offer support in. What do
So
you
the
want to
business
talk about?
challenge is this very thing that we are doing, which I expressed to you a little bit yesterday.
Yes.
Um, this being live, like I do really well with one-on-one. I do well in person, very small groups I do well with, but it's this idea that this is unfiltered, that like even video that I can edit, I'm still very picky about how I show up on camera for some reason. But when it's just if it was just me and you, it's not being videoed, I would be fine. But this caused quite a bit of nervousness. Still feeling a little weird about the idea that there are people hearing me unfiltered, just talking, not knowing whether or not my message is coming across as clearly as I'd like it to. So I avoid um, doing lives. I believe this is the very first time I've ever been live.
I'm so
Of
grateful that you were willing to join. And
course.
this is a little bit like what you described with your uh, the shift in clients, right? When they do it
Hmm.
anyway,
Yes.
that's when I'm like, I'm so proud of you for doing it anyway, because until you go ahead and like take the first step across the bridge, right, to the other
Right.
side, you don't know, you can't feel it, right? You can't feel it, how it feels to be like, oh, look, I'm doing it and I'm okay. And Karen Gilmore says the message
Nice.
is loud and clear, Leah.
Thank you, Karen.
I mean, I want to affirm, I think our conversation is Leah being Leah. Leah demonstrating everything that I got out of,
Thank
of
you. I think
being with
it
you.
definitely
Yeah.
makes it easier because we have had multiple conversations and we've done them over Zoom. Like this is a format that I'm familiar with. So it's a great introduction to this idea of being live because I'm talking with someone who we've done this before. And so that's very comforting. So I thank you for also showing up as you because it's helpful.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. And that was my job, right? That's what I said to myself right before is like, oh, I want to be better at blah, 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 blah. And I was like, nope, that's not helpful. That's not helpful. It's not helped me in the past. So just going to be here and laser in. I mean, what else do I have? What else do you have? You're being you. Yeah, thank you. Sasha Recycle says, you're doing great.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Karen. Karen, full of support.
Always.
Karen, bringer of light wherever she goes. Um, so your challenge about being visible and I, when right when you said unedited, your unedited self,
Yes.
what came to me is you've been you've been making this Leah all these years. You started your story today with um, the time you went in. I don't know if you said crisis exactly, but something happened and you were like doing deep personal work,
Yeah, I
right?
became a
That,
single mom, and it was like I need to know how to. I need to know me in order to do this particular job.
yeah,
Like this
yeah,
is someone is counting on me to be the best version of myself, and so I needed to um, make sure that I showed up that way.
right, right. And again, like I'm not making light of the hardship of that, and yet how what a beautiful testimony to you that that was the moment that you said, "Oh, it's time to get clear." Because plenty of people would be like, "Nope, not time to get clear yet. I'm just gonna keep, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna
Mm-hmm.
keep my whatever scary stuff. It never stops being scary, right? Like
Yes.
changing the old story. But this is my point is that you saw a moment and you said, I gotta rise to this. And that was, I'm not going to say the beginning, but a milestone where you started to, in a way, edit yourself into the today you. I mean,
That's
I
true.
think you're proud of who you are today,
I am.
right?
Yeah.
The work that you've been doing for yourself, on yourself, to be the best self. I know that because of even just the conversation we had yesterday. You want to serve from this highest best self. That's already a beautiful place to start from. And this is what I do you get what I'm saying is like you
Mm-hmm.
have been editing yourself to be you. And that's why, one of my phrases that I say to myself, have a posted on, right here in my face all the time is it's safe to be me.
Safe to be me.
It's safe to be me. And I remember when I posted it, you're like, this is good. You reacted. And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, because we both need to say this to each other. We both need to model it. We all need, right? I mean, everybody needs it in a different way. The thing, whatever the story that gets in the way.
That's true. And
But
it's I think we will tell someone, we will give someone advice, or we will encourage someone in a way that it echoes back to ourselves. If we're listening, we'll realize like that message also applies to me. Because I believe yesterday we had that kind of um, conversation that ended up being like, oh, we are both saying the same thing kind of differently, but it's still the same. Um, yeah. So I'm hearing you and I'm receiving this message that I've already done this work to edit myself in a way that I can show up on the camera as me, and it should be fine. What is Karen talking about?
yes, Karen says no more edits. They're not needed.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I think if edits is, I mean, I was trying to reframe edit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if edit is self-doubt, no, we don't need that. If edit is like, which way I could say it this way or that way, that's not, it just gets in the way, right? Like that's when I, like I said, past Mindset Mondays, where I was like, today I'm gonna be more like there was a one session where I said, I'm gonna not say ums and ers and likes and whatever. And it was like basically impossible to talk. And of course that comes across. That's the editing that's like, you know what,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't necessary. Because what is this about? This moment is about you and me connecting and lifting up the best of the best, right? The
Right.
best of you and your intention and serving, right? We're both wanting to serve. You're wanting coaching clients, you're wanting your business, your people to transform, the people that you're calling in to strategize. That's what it's really about. And that's what we are here to model. So yeah, not that kind of editing. but but yeah, that you can trust in the work that you've done on yourself to be the you're proud of. I
Thank you.
hope you can just hold on to that. And here's maybe the next level question. Like if you weren't afraid, what kind of visibility would you want to, I don't know, show up to, provide? What does it look like?
It looks like I would want to do videos regularly if there wasn't this particular part of me. Yeah, I would want to do regular videos, maybe a weekly thing, because I love to write, but I think sometimes, especially on social media, if you write in something that's too long, too often, then it doesn't get read and the message isn't getting across, and people are more likely to watch a video. And you can
Mm,
get your message across in 2 minutes, which somebody can invest that time. We're all very time conscious and aware of what we're giving our time to. So I want to make it so that I can give the message in a way that is something that someone can consume. And that's what I would do if, and I'm always planning it, and I have yet
okay.
to be the one to make that happen on a regular basis. And it's not for lack of time or anything like that. It's really because I'm going to have to edit this video, and I'm going to have to look at myself, and I'm going to have to hear my own voice and all of these different things that I want to be just right.
Yeah. So is that still true? Does that still feel true? I have to edit to be just right.
I don't want it to be true. So I'm it's going to be a thing that I have to actively dismiss, I guess, as it comes up,
Hmm.
because or reframe as
Hmm.
this is how I've felt before, or this is the truth is that I talk to people all the time. People hear my voice, people see my face, and I talk to them unedited. I have conversations with people, and it's and I can't go back and change what was said. I'm capable of expressing myself verbally, but for some reason, when the camera is there, so I just have to remember I'm just having a conversation with the people who on the other end of the camera.
Yes. Yes. And you're in the conversation, you're not like, oh, I want to come out perfect. I have received your presence is for my transformation, for my light bulb moment, right? To see
Mm-hmm.
something that I didn't allow myself to see for all the reasons, we all have, right?
Yes.
All the like all chatter. So that's, I think, I mean, that's the key, right? When you're, this is what my mentor right now, coach, is saying, be more committed to your client's transformation than you are to your fear.
Oh, I love that.
Can you feel that
I can.
zing?
Hold on. Sorry.
You're gonna write that down.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, again,
Mm,
this is another one of the many post-its. I have to talk to myself all day long about the truth. And yeah, there's like 50 post-its and a giant whiteboard of me talking to myself the truth because we can just walk around hypnotized to our old chatter,
right.
right? It's like a hypnosis. It's like it's so in there. I'm not even thinking I'm thinking it. But it has to be like really conscious truths instead,
Mm-hmm.
right? So what you just said, I love it because that was going to be my next question. If the lie is I need to present as perfect, what is the truth? And you don't have to write it on a post-it. That's the way I find it helpful to like talk at myself.
No,
But
I have
like,
two whiteboards that I write all my little notes on to myself so I can see them regularly.
yes, exactly. Okay. So like just like the practice I love is write the truth out, write the opposing truth. The what is I mean, I'm just gonna fully say that other thing is a lie. This presenting needs to be perfect because it doesn't, didn't, never did. I got impact, right?
Yes.
So so then the truth is, I mean, another way to say it's safe to just show up as you. You know how to do it. You got this. Um, Karen's for me. Thank you. Karen Beckles was, you are the gift. So show the fuck out.
I love it.
I seriously wrote that down on my whiteboard. She's on the phone with me. I'm like, hold on. Yeah. Thank you. Receiving. Thank you. So, however you want to say it to yourself, you do got this. There
Got
you go.
this.
Yeah, and it totally makes sense. I was hearing you from the strategy point of view too. Like you said, I would love to write, but people want it fed to them and in a quick video bite. So this is your strategy talking to, right?
Yeah.
How do I deliver transformation quicker, easier to receive?
Hmm.
That's your commitment, right? You're committing more to your clients or whoever, people's transformation than you
That's a
are to
really
your
important thing because
attachment. Yeah, go ahead.
that makes it easier. I'm the type of person who can help other people. Like I'll do things for other people that I won't do for myself a lot of times. And
Mm,
so if I can create that shift of this is for them, this is for other people, this is what they need, um, then it's much easier for me to show up. But if I'm showing up for me, I tend to create these different stories that make it harder to
mm-hmm.
do. But ultimately, it will be the same. I'm showing up for them, but I'm also going to be showing up for me because I will be making that change, that shift. So that's really, really good. Thank you.
This is what I love when that for me is like a click, like it gets to be win-win,
Hmm.
right? Your win is
Yeah.
actually their win too, because you got to show up with ease. I mean, partly it just let you show up, first of all, right? What we're
Hmm.
saying is that you have videos, you have teaching in you that's like not getting out. And it's our loss, right? It's all of our loss that your light is, I don't know, in your hard drive or wherever your cloud these days, right? It's not like getting out into the world. Those seeds are not being planted. And it's not your job to like make them grow and like after, but like
Yeah,
what you can do is put that out. So hopefully that feels empowering and
it
exciting
does.
and yes, for others and for you, right? Because you're going to get the feedback. You're going to get that um how did you say it? The client's transformation when it clicks, when they feel it.
Yeah. When they
It
click,
feels good,
yes, I'm
right?
like, you've got it.
So again, their win, your win, recycle that endless cycle of like ready to deliver more. And then the world gets more Leah. Yay. All right. So how can we work with you? How do you want people to work with you, contact you? Who do you want to come to into your sphere, into your queendom?
So, I don't know at this time that I have an ideal client so much as just being ready. The ideal client is ready to make a shift. Like they have reached the point where they know I have to do something or I want to do something, and I'm willing to do what it takes to make that shift. Um, that's the ideal client
Yeah.
at this time. And to reach me, we're on Instagram right now, so I have not been as active as I'd like to be on Instagram, but I do have a link tree in my bio to click on
Yeah.
that and just message me through that. You can DM me on Instagram. I am better about checking those now. And
Okay.
then on Facebook, where I'm more active, it's just my name, Leah Mitchell, same thing. There
Good.
is a Leah Mitchell business page as well.
Okay. What's your favorite one place to go? Should we just go to Facebook business or what would be, or the link tree? I like to make you
Either
just
one.
pick one.
Well, then I would say, but we're on Instagram. And so I want to say, yes, the link tree would be the best one since we're on
Okay.
Instagram at the moment. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Great.
Yay.
May the right people come to you
Thank you so much.
and receive
And
your
to you
goodness.
as well.
Thank you so much.